So hello everyone and welcome back to the another episode of the Empowerment Project podcast. Today I have Sarah here with me. Sarah is a good friend of mine. She's also my client, and the reason why I wanted to bring her here is she's been through a lot. She also achieved a lot, and I think a lot of women will find her journey beneficial. So thank you for being here. So Sarah, in a nutshell, tell the listeners who is Sarah.
So I am Sarah Newing from Cornwall. I'm 45, got 3 children, all grown up, 20, 18 and 15. And yeah, I'm on my little own journey at the moment, which is great.
Very good, very good. So, obviously you've been through quite a bit last year. So obviously for the listeners, can you just tell us about the struggles you've been through and the challenges you faced?
So being of a certain age, I'm 45, and 2 years ago I found myself having, starting the menopause and having a few symptoms, and I ended up having to have a hysterectomy last year, and it was just a massive knock in confidence. I put on weight, I couldn't run anymore, I couldn't do the things I enjoyed doing, and I was sort of thinking, is this it now? Is this where my life is going to be? And it just, my confidence took a real knock.
And do you feel it's just like the hormones, or just overall you just let yourself go?
The hormones, when people talk about sort of the menopause symptoms, it's so real,
Give us a little bit more details. What's been happening?
The brain fog, the forgetting things, like talking mid-sentence, and I can't remember what I was going to say. The sweats, just 1 minute you're up, 1 minute you're down, my skin would break out. It's really real symptoms, but a lot of people don't understand that those are actually menopausal symptoms.
And what about your mindset and the way you thought about yourself and others?
Yeah, I just didn't see myself. I didn't know who I was anymore. I'd come a couple of years previously, I was, ultra running, doing 100K races. And then I found myself in this position where I couldn't run. I actually couldn't run. And that was basically because I would bleed so much, I could not run. And I just felt the one thing I loved and would get me out and put me into a good headspace, I couldn't do anymore.
So you felt like your life changed a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just I didn't know who I was anymore. That's how best I can describe it. I didn't know who I was. I was a mum, which is really important to me, but I'm also me, and I lost my identity completely.
That's quite, it's obviously going through that must be quite scary, because there's just so little research about all the symptoms and how you can, help yourself. Now, going through all that and a lot of, challenges, what made you then change? Can you think of what was the point where you were like, okay?
Well, I think I've always been, if I want to do something, and once I get an idea in my head, that's it, and I knew I didn't want to be stuck in that place. And then I've seen you and Jacob with what you do with the Empowerment Project, and then Shannon, who was one of your girls. I just saw how it changed her, and how all of a sudden she was just beaming and glowing and just full of energy. And I was like, that's what I need to be doing, So I was like, right, it's scary taking the plunge, because I was overweight. I'd put on a lot of weight, and I just didn't feel good about myself. And that first step is always the hardest.
In that period where obviously the symptoms started, how much weight did you gain? Do you remember?
So I probably, I go in stone here.
Oh yeah, oh God.
I can go in kilos, but I went up to, so I was 75.8 kilos. So, I probably gained about 14 kilos. Nothing fitted me. I felt horrible in my clothes. And it's funny because I've been trying to find pictures of me back then, and there aren't any really, because I wouldn't have pictures taken because I just didn't feel comfortable. And another thing I would do, I'd buy really big baggy clothes. I think I came up to see you actually on my birthday.
Hiding yourself.
And I was hiding myself in these big baggy clothes because that's how I felt. Yeah.
And do you think, obviously, going through these changes when it comes to nutrition, do you feel like what changed? Like, did your eating habits change, or did you just kind of stop caring?
Yeah. Yeah, probably. I would just reach for the wrong foods. And also not, I used to run a lot. So I'd run 4, 5 times a week, a lot of miles, and that just stopped. So obviously that wasn't helping. And yeah, I just, I'd snack, big snacker. Evenings would come and I'd have my meals and then I'd be like, oh, I'll just have a chocolate or a glass of wine. And before you know it, I can't even tell you the calories I clocked up, and it just got into that really bad cycle.
And then you mentioned you stopped running because you
I
didn't
couldn't,
want
yeah, I
to.
couldn't run because of the symptoms of the bleeding. And then after the hysterectomy, it's obviously 6 to 8 weeks recovery. So I wasn't doing anything then. But that's, when I saw you and I just actually, maybe I need a different direction, maybe a break from the running. Let's get fit and healthy again and then see
Good
where we
girl.
go. Yeah.
Well, so you've been obviously on the program with me since January. Give us a bit of a breakdown. What did you achieve and your
Yeah.
struggles again?
Loved it. So after Christmas, I was like, right, that's it. And I knew this was it. I had to get stuck in and stick to it. Going to the gym the first time was mega scary.
Oh, because you started to work out from home,
I
right?
started to work out from home
Yes.
and it just wasn't working for me. It was in a cold attic and it was like,
It's home as well.
yeah, 5:30 in the morning. It was just like, oh my goodness, I can't do this. So joined the gym,
Very good.
walked in. I think I went with Mark and Shannon the first time, petrified, and there's these people over using the weights. I'm not doing that. So I'd get my equipment in a little corner and I would do my workout in the corner, get it done. But literally within the first month, the weight was dropping off because I was just eating so much better, following your plan, having a plan. It was so important with the food and, telling me what I should be eating. And yeah, it just started to work straight away.
And did you find the plan anyhow restrictive, or do you feel like you couldn't enjoy yourself?
I still I'd have my Saturday would be like my treat meal, and I'd have my little glass of wine. And if I was going out with friends or for a meal, I would have it and I would enjoy it, because I'm not going to give up all those nice things, but it's just getting the balance.
Yeah, that's one thing I always say to all of you clients. Like, I want you to have off-plan meals. Like, you might like your gin and tonic. I love my cake. And obviously I want everyone to have that. Okay. And then you obviously mentioned going to the gym and first time being in there. How do you think you build up the confidence to where you are now? Or what would be the advice you give to someone who is listening right now, who maybe want to go to the gym, but is very scared how to even start?
I think when I went in there and looked around, so many different people there, all different ages, sizes, male, female, and nobody's actually looking at me. Everyone's in doing their own thing. And once I got that into my head, and I think I was looking around at people thinking, oh, wow, look at them. I saw them last week. They couldn't do that. You just, people really inspire you and nobody's looking at you. Nobody's judging you.
Yeah, we always think that.
Yeah, you do. You're on your own journey. And in the end, I was like, no, this is important to me. I need to just keep going. So I'd be going, at least 3 times a week without fail. And I've never been a morning person. If you just say get up at 5:30 and go to the gym, you're joking.
Well done.
But it's the only time I could fit it in. And yeah, I do it now. I just get up and go.
And obviously a lot of people, online coaching is still quite new to some people. And a lot of people still want to rely on the personal trainer presence being there. Obviously you've managed to do it without. How did you manage to, get better at exercises and grow your confidence and get stronger without me being there with you?
I think it takes the pressure off, to be honest. When you have to meet up with a personal trainer, trying to fit it around, I work 8 till 6. So it would have to be early mornings, evenings, and I've got the kids to sort. It just wouldn't happen.
So it's more flexible.
It's so flexible, and I know you've got my plan there. I can check in any time with you, leave a message, and you're there, so I don't have to. Yeah, you are. I don't have to hang around and wait. It's so convenient.
And what about the struggles then? Obviously since January, it's been 10 months, since we get the ball rolling. Have you, as well as enjoying things, hopefully, have you been finding yourself struggling at times, or some challenges you went through?
Yeah, I suppose everyone does, don't they? Certain times, going on holiday for 2 weeks, getting that balance right. and just thinking, do you know what, sod it, I'm just going to have another pina colada, but it's not beating yourself up about it and not letting one day ruin the whole week.
Yes, that's the one.
It's okay, I've done it, I've enjoyed it, right, we get back on it. And yeah, fitting things around work and the kids. There's times where you're like, I can't do this today, I can't do it, but I know if I do it, I'll feel so much better. So
you said obviously you are mum, you're a partner, you work. How do you find time to do all this? Because a lot of people, even before embarking on their journey, might think, oh, I'm not going to have time for this. It's going to have too much time of my life. I can't do it. How do you manage?
You have to make your time. For me, it's getting up at 5:30 and having that blissful hour and a half before the kids get up or the school run or work, which is my time. And yeah, it's early, but you do it and you just feel so much better for it. You just have to get the balance right.
You need to put yourself first.
Yeah, if it's important to you as well, you do it. So yeah, that's what
Very good.
I never thought I'd be that morning person at all.
Very good.
And it's, yeah.
And when it comes to nutrition, what did you learn along the process since me and you started?
You don't have to deprive yourself. That's the main thing. You can still eat. You've got your set calories. You can use those calories within reason. If at the weekend I've got something coming up, then I'll think, okay, well, I won't have such a big breakfast or lunch. I'm going to enjoy my meal out. So it's just balancing it out. And if you want that bit of cake in the week, you can have a bit of cake. It's okay. So it's just getting the balance right. It's not a diet. I don't see it as a diet plan at all. It's a lifestyle. And, it will continue.
And then do you feel, since obviously, January, February, when you started, that you started to look after yourself and think about things a little bit different again and confidence came back a little bit more?
Yeah. And, like you said to me, early nights, go to bed with a book rather than on your phone. That I do now. I do actually have my book. It took me a while to put the phone down, but now I go and read. But yeah, confidence, I've dropped nearly 12 kilos now.
Amazing.
And I feel good. I'm wearing tight jeans and a top and I feel confident. And yeah, it's just not the physical, it's inside the emotional, the well-being as well.
And we went shopping today and you did not buy only black stuff, which is great.
I know, with a little push from you, but yeah, and buying, I still think when I'm shopping, I'm going for the bigger sizes. It's so strange in your head. It takes a while for your head to catch up, I think.
I think as women, we like to be too self-critical towards us. And even if you achieved something, at the back of your head, you still have that old yourself thinking, I'm not there yet.
Yeah. So, yeah, definitely more confident. Well, and just nice thing, like my daughter the other day, she went, Mum, you look amazing in those leggings. And it's just like, it just feels nice.
And what drives you? Because, you hear it and see it everywhere. Everyone's just like, I'm not motivated, What drives you? What is the thing that keeps you going?
I think for me, it's always been that good role model for the kids. That's been massively important for me, which is with my running, for them to see me cross the finish line and be proud. But I'm 45, but I've got so many things I still want to do, and goals and ambitions. I would like to learn to swim, and we know about the triathlons. We know about those,
know about the bike.
There's things I want to challenge myself and push myself. And like now with this, the empowerment project, I just want to get stronger now. I can see what I've done so far, and I can just look into the future thinking I can do a lot more. I'm just determined and driven.
Good girl. And what about running? Did you get back to that?
I will, but at the moment, yeah, I just want to do that for fun, really. At the moment, I'm loving the gym. I'm just loving how it makes me feel, and that's where I'm going at the moment.
Well, then we obviously have something exciting happening tomorrow. So maybe tell the listeners what's happening tomorrow.
I've got my photo shoot tomorrow.
Yes.
And that is that's a massive
Let's talk about
thing.
that. Let's talk about it. I don't even remember what made you. Well, first, have you previously last year? Would you even consider doing anything like that?
No, not at all.
And how come you've changed your mind?
I've seen obviously you doing your photo shoots, and then Shannon, she was another one, never doing it, not going to do that.
Very true.
And then I came along to her photo shoot to support her, and it was just, oh my gosh, these people, men and women, are just to see where they've come from to where they are now, standing there. And I was like, I want a bit of that.
Yeah, it's great. It's just, photo shoots, like, it's just a good celebration of what you've achieved. Even though you might not be where you want to be at, or it's a stepping stone, it is a great day. And seeing everyone on their own journeys, I think it's amazing.
It's not just, like, it's not about being ripped and having a six pack, and it's just it's empowerment, isn't it? And that's exactly it. Standing there doing something that really scares you and feeling empowered
and confident, and that's
and it's actually nearly a year to the day I had my hysterectomy.
Well, actually, how do you feel now hormonally? Like,
I think the hormones, women from early on up until your menopause, we have hormones all over the place. But I help myself more, like by going to the gym and getting out and doing things. And so, there's some days I feel a bit
down.
But it's completely changed things for me. It's the best thing I did.
So your mindset, you still sometimes have that old voice in your head, but you manage it now better.
Absolutely, yeah.
And how do you feel about the photo shoot tomorrow?
Excited. Very excited, yeah.
What were you expecting?
I don't know. I'm scared, because I'm to stand there in front of people and have your picture taken. It's just, it's going to be amazing.
It'll be great fun.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Great fun.
Yeah.
And then obviously after the shoot, what are the next steps,
Yeah, to continue what I'm doing. Like I say, it's a lifestyle change. It's not a diet, so I'm not going to suddenly go back and eat everything I see, maybe for one day, But it's a lifestyle change, and I'm going to continue with the gym, get stronger.
Have you got any goals, anything you want to work on a little bit more?
We're talking about like the pull-ups.
Yes.
Definitely want to do the pull-ups, and I want to get a bit of deadlifts going as well. And just be fit and strong and keep moving forward.
Very good.
Yeah.
And the last question that I have for you, because, all of us women will go through this process eventually. If someone is just about to go through it or went through it, what would be the advice you would give to them?
Ask for help, reach out is the main thing, because you can feel really lonely, especially when you don't know. I mean, one of the symptoms for me was muscle aches, and my joints hurt, my muscles hurt, and it's one of the major the signs of the menopause is the muscle aches. So you just need to read up. Knowledge is power.
Is that what you did? You did some research. Did you talk
to someone? I watched there's a Davina McCall.
Watched it.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And it just, I think it was one lady said, I thought I was going mad. I actually thought I was losing my mind. And I was like, oh my God. And it's just so good to hear that's normal. So reach out and don't think you're stuck. Like this time last year, I was like, is this it? You're not stuck in that situation. You can get out of it and, make the changes. If you want to put the hard work in, it's really worth it. So,
and what about the people around you? Did they support you? Did you have to explain what's happening? Or
Mark was brilliant.
Mark's great.
He's great, and he was there. It's really supportive the whole time. And to be honest, everyone was. My children were really good, understanding. They put up with my moods, and wasn't when I wasn't feeling great. But I spoke about it, and on social media and stuff as well. I'd put posts up about it, and so much response back. I was really surprised at how many people responded. I'm going through that. It's so good to hear people talk about it. So just talk, I would say.
So for any listeners that are men or partners, they're going to be on the journey with their partners together. What advice would you give them to support someone going through menopause?
Listen, when I talk to people, I'm not expecting people to fix it. I don't always need the advice given back, but just listen.
Just be there for you.
Just listen and be there. Yeah, you don't have to say anything. Just listen. I think it's really important.
This is great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Sarah. I'm very excited for tomorrow.
Excited.
Yeah, we'll be sharing pictures and video, I'm sure, very soon.
Yeah.
And yeah, this has been great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.